It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. The Evan edition. It's the Evan edition.
Welcome back to the Evan edition, where we talk TVs, movie, pop culture, comics, and everything in between. I am your host, Evan Bernstein, and I am joined by tonight's guest, who has been entertaining people for more than 2 decades. And what I love about her story is that she's never stopped finding new ways to create. Millions of people first met Lisa Foyles when, at only 15 years old, she joined the all-new cast tasked with relaunching Nickelodeon's iconic sketch comedy series, All That. But since then, she's built this incredibly eclectic, creative life across acting and comedy and gaming and hosting and writing, podcasting, and performing live music. And somehow, whether she's playing an unforgettable goth girl named Claudia, making people laugh online, or doing these crazy online sketches where cosplayers are in a situation where they have to fight, but they don't actually have superpowers, or writing a fantasy novel, talking with her cat on Temperamental, or absolutely owning a stage in Vegas, the same sense of fun still seems to be there. Tonight, we're going to celebrate all of it. Lisa Foyles, welcome to the Evan edition.
Thank you. What was the name of the show again? I don't think I heard it at all. But your intro didn't say it, so I'm not really sure.
You didn't say it enough, did it?
No, thank you. That was an incredibly thorough introduction. Probably the most thorough introduction I've ever had on a podcast or any kind of show. Thank you.
Hey,
I was I did do those things.
We have to lay out the red carpet for you. Like,
oh yes.
There's so much in here. I'm like, can we keep this an hour? Like, this girl has done so much in her life. It's absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to get into it all with you, all that with you. This is going to be such a fun conversation. And I appreciate you being here. And let's jump right into it, because you have so much stuff in your life. We got no time to waste.
Yeah, we got to dive right in. But yeah, but also I'm incredibly honored to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's start here, because I've done a bit of research. Call me out if this research is not accurate, please. But
yeah, I will. I'll fact check you.
Okay. Was that 15-year-old, right? Starting at 15?
14.
All that?
14. But you're so close. So close. I think that was the only one. No, so far out of everything, I think that was the only one. But I was like, I think it's 14.
Okay, and we got some people in chat. Butch Scissorleg says, is this being recorded live? I mean, it is live, and there will be a recording after. So yeah, we are live. Anything and everything can happen. But I wanted to start here because you were a competitive tap dancer growing up in Washington. A judge at a competition sees something in you, encourages your parents to get you to Hollywood. Your family eventually moves to California, and then a few years later, you're auditioning for Nickelodeon.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah, and you said it much more succinctly than I usually do. I usually ramble on about trying to explain that for 10 minutes, and you just summed it up in a tight sentence. Good job.
I got you. I got your back. When you look back, were the adults around you seeing something in you before you fully saw it in yourself?
Yeah, I think I was just a dumb kid who was just having fun, right? I think I had passion for everything that I was doing. And, you know, of course, I wanted to be like a Broadway star, and I wanted to have my name up in lights, but in sort of that, you know, looking at it through a child's eyes, you know, I didn't fully comprehend the type of effort it would take to get from one to the other. I think I was just a passionate performer who just wanted to keep doing it, and keep doing it meant eventually I get to go to Broadway, get to go to Hollywood, get to, you know, be in movies with Gene Kelly, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think it was the, you know, maturity and knowledge of the adults around me that were like, oh, not only does she have the passion for this and say she wants to do it, she can do it. we should set her up for success. And I'm so thankful that my parents invested in me the way that they did. I think it's really easy, even as a parent now. I mean, I just got back from a dance studio registering my daughter for gymnastics, and I'm like, this is expensive. This is expensive. It's so easy to look at, investing in your child as like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. Does she really need to go to dance class 5 days a week? But I did, and my parents invested in me, and I was in dance so many days a week. I was in singing lessons. I was in theater. I was taking piano. I mean, I just did it all. So
Because
yeah,
you
I'm just
liked it.
so thankful. I loved it. I absolutely loved
Right.
it. Yeah, no, so I'm super thankful that my parents nurtured that.
Is it your daughter or your son that's doing dance class right now?
Chloe, my daughter, she wants to do
Chloe.
gymnastics. She doesn't want to do dance.
She
She
doesn't want to
wants
do
to do
dance. Okay.
gymnastics, doesn't want to do dance, which was a bit of a heartbreak, right? Because like I had such a passion for it that I started her in some ballet classes, and I could just tell it wasn't her thing. And I'm like, girl, I'm not gonna push you into this if you don't want to do it. I can tell. When I was her age, nobody could stop me from dancing and singing. That's all I did all the time. I must have been the
Yeah.
most annoying child. But she has much more of an art brain. Like she draws. I don't draw at all. Like she draws, she does puzzles, she's very good at math. Those are all very opposite from me. So yeah, she wants to do the gymnastics thing, and my son does tennis. But yeah, I'm just trying to do the same thing, right? I'm trying to just invest in my kids and whatever they want to do and set them up for success.
That's really cool. That's really cool to see that cycle continue
Yeah.
within your kids and help them find their passions and their journey like your parents did for you. That's such a beautiful,
Yeah,
like cyclical
so
thing.
important. Yeah.
Zach is saying hello. Hello, Zach.
What's up,
Both
Jack?
still in creative fields. That's great. That is great. Passing it on. Um, let's dive a little bit into it. So I've read that you said it took 7 callbacks to get all that.
Yeah.
Is that what the hell happens over 7 callbacks?
I know, dude. It was yeah, it was the longest audition process of any role ever that I have experienced. It was just narrowing down, right? You have like yo, what's up? You have, I think the initial auditions were something like 2,000 kids across America who
Yeah.
either audition via like a videotape or they had to come to Hollywood for it. So I think just the process of narrowing down 2,000 kids to 7 sometimes takes a lot of, you know, brackets, right? You gotta
Definitely.
get down to those
100%.
semifinals, quarterfinals, semifinals, like, down to those final 7. And even the last audition was down to 12 of us. And they had to come out and be like, thank you for being involved in this very long process, but we can only pick 7 of you. So I'm so sorry, to those who don't get picked. But yeah, it's crazy.
At what point in like at which callback did you finally like let yourself think like, oh, I might actually get this?
Oh no, I never did. No.
You never did? Oh, you were like on your
No.
toes, like you're like on your back heels the whole time, like I don't know if I'm gonna get
Yeah,
this or
no,
not.
I never got comfortable. And even at the end,
Wow.
when they said, we got to narrow it down to 7, they gave us a specific date that they were like, we're going to let your agents know by this date, or parents if you
That's
didn't have an
nice.
agent. And that date came and went, and I didn't hear anything. So I was like,
No, that's
I had to kind of go through that process of like, you know what? I learned a lot. It wasn't meant to be, blah, blah, blah. And then it was like 3 weeks after that they finally called and they're like, you got it. And I was like, what? They just, Hollywood, Hollywood is on their own time and they just do what they want. So the producers just needed more time and whatever. But I was like, yeah, fun prank, guys. But yeah, I mean, it all worked out and it was meant to be. So
when you were doing those callbacks, like what was the addition? Like, were you reading like sides that like, or like sketches from previous all that episodes, like from the first iteration, or like what was it?
Very similar. So they had a universal, they had a script that every kid read, and it was called Crazy Terry. And Terry could be a girl or a boy. So the girls and the boys all read for Crazy Terry. And it was just this kind of outrageous character in a little scene, very much like Mark Saul's crazy character in seasons like
Mm-hmm.
5 and 6. He was really good at that, just like insane person. So this Crazy Terry script showed your range, right? I don't remember the exact things it had me do, but it had you be like larger than life and with a lot of different emotions and a lot of, just being larger than life and very animated. So we had to read that script. And then we had to present a monologue that involved 3 different characters. So we had to prepare that at home and then bring that. And then the last part of the audition was just kind of a little question and answer. They'd shoot some questions at you and see how you respond and just get to know your personality. So yeah, all of them were threefold, just like that. Yeah.
And were you like, I don't know, I can just imagine like little Lisa, like just confident as hell. Like, I got that. Like, were you like that? Like just owning it?
I was a very shy kid. I was super shy and I would get very nervous before
Wow,
any
okay.
audition. But I was just able to turn it on, after years of dance competitions where, your knees are knocking together backstage, but then once you walk out there in front of the audience and the lights hit you and you hit your first pose, I'm just able to bring it, right? I just kind of turn.
Yeah.
I still get that way. I mean, I'm on stage all the time, but there'll be certain situations where I'll like get really nervous before I go out there. And I'm like, I do this weekly. Like, why am I nervous right now? But yeah, no, I was nervous before every audition, before every callback. And there was just something about my ability to walk in the room and interact with the people in there and just bring my full personality out. It was actually really funny. At the time, we were kind of new to California, and I had left my dance studio in Washington where everybody knew me, and I had to join a new studio where nobody knew me, and I didn't like that at all, and I was super shy, and I didn't really talk to anybody, and they just kind of knew me as like the quiet, weird girl.
Uh-oh, it cut out. Lisa. Oh no. Sorry guys, she cut out. Told you guys we are live and anything.
You're back?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. My internet cuts out about every 10 minutes all day, every day. So I apologize for that.
Okay.
But no, so I was basically this quiet, weird girl at the dance studio. And when the rumor got around that like I had booked the Nickelodeon show, like everyone was very confused and flabbergasted because they're like, she's never talked to people like her. She just minds her own business every single day. So yeah, it was, I would like pick and choose my times to be crazy and silly and then was very shy other times.
That's cool though. That's really cool that you can turn it on like that. You had that like showman, like show person quality to you, where it's like when the lights are on, it's time to go. And
honestly, I was super intimidated the first day that I showed up on the set of all that because I was the last one there, which is very weird for me because I'm usually the first one anyway. But I was the last one there, and I walked into the schoolroom where all the kids were, all the other 6 cast members, and they were like bouncing off the walls and cracking jokes and being crazy and being wild. And I'm like, little shy girl who's just very apprehensive about every situation, just needs to know what's going on, is just analyzing everything. And I just felt very intimidated. I'm like, I don't know that I'm as funny and crazy as these kids. Like maybe I don't belong here. But of course, once I got comfortable with them, it all just fell into place. And I was just as crazy as all of them, if not crazier.
That's awesome. That's
cool. We became a family
pretty
quickly.
I would definitely be the one bouncing off the walls. The ADHD was hitting me pretty hard at that time.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sure many of our cast members should have been medicated, but
hey, that's what makes them, them. So it works.
Totally. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But they can't read. No, I'm just kidding. Zach was saying, yeah, casting people love making people sweat, it seems. Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I like to, the older I get, the more I do genuinely think that casting directors are like on your side and they want you to do well and they want you to they really want you to feel comfortable. I think when you're a kid, it's that like they're grown-ups, right? And you have to be respectful and they're grown-ups and they're bigger than you. But like they're older, they're bigger, you're just need to fall into line, um and that can be intimidating. But I really do genuinely, now that I'm, like I said, now that I've been in acting for so long and gotten to know other casting directors and on the producing and behind the camera side,
Mhm.
I really truly believe that they want you to succeed, and they want the majority of them.
That's great.
Maybe there's a few that want to see how you act under pressure and they make you feel uncomfortable, but I really do
Yeah.
feel that they, casting wants you to do well, because if you do well, it makes them look good. Everything's
Right.
just about money, right? Like every single job in Hollywood boils down to money. So casting is not there to like, we're going to make you a star just so you can be a star. Casting is like, if you have star quality and I cast you for this movie and you are the next Channing Tatum, I get paid more. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and you
they
get more
want,
job opportunities.
yes,
Yeah.
they want every actor to come in and be incredible. Yeah, so but it took a long time for me to see it that way.
Derpy was saying that his favorite skit was Sugar and Coffee. And he said, Lisa, was that really sugar and coffee you was drinking?
I think this is the most common question I get
Do you
when it
get this
comes to
all the
all that.
time?
All the
Okay.
time. The sugar
Okay.
was real. Yes. And I always ask myself, what else could it be? Like, what are the alternatives that would look like sugar that would not be sugar? The only thing I
Yeah.
can think of is
Nothing
salt.
that
That's worse, right?
nothing that a child could have. I'll say that much.
I mean, just the texture, the salty, the sugary texture, like you're
Yeah.
not gonna get, you can't do anything
No.
else. So it's the coffee that I focus on, because I'm like, of course it's sugar. What else would it be? But the coffee changed. The first two seasons, it was flat Coca-Cola.
Hmm.
And then the last two seasons, it was just colored water, because they realized that the mixture of the sticky Coca-Cola mixed with the sugar just created this like goopy tar that would
Hmm.
be the grossest. It would just be everywhere. So switching to water was much nicer, because then we would coat ourselves in the sugar and then basically just take a shower and the water would just wash it off, which was very nice. But yes, real sugar, not real coffee. I feel that
Yes.
there'd be a lot of labor laws being broken if you fed children that much coffee.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be good. Yeah, especially with all the kids that were bouncing off the walls, as you said. I don't think coffee is gonna help. Maybe it'll calm them down. Maybe
It
I'll have a
probably would. It probably would have stunted all of our growth, and Nickelodeon would have liked that, because then we stay young forever,
be
right? So
kids forever.
we should have
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah, be kids forever. Cece was peeping my Fantastic Four shirt.
I
Thank
was
you.
looking at it too. It's a pretty cool shirt.
She was saying Fantastic Four, like from the movie, the song. Awesome. Um, oh, we got some more people. I was scrolling down. Okay, so the context is pretty wild here. Like you're 14. You're not joining some like brand new show that's never been on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is relaunching all that with 7 completely new performers after
Yes.
audience has already grown up with people like Keenan Thompson, Kel Mitchell, Lori Beth Denberg, Amanda Bynes, like these goats of this show. And so at 14, did you actually understand like how massive those shoes were to fill?
Oh yes, it was my favorite show. Like those are all my heroes. Before I even became an actor, it was my absolute favorite show. My
Wow.
best friend Heather and I, back in Spokane, Washington, I'd do sleepovers at her house, and we would practice the characters. Like we would sit on her bed and had a little tape recorder, and I'd go repairman, man, man, and we'd do this is a library, and forever and ever and ever. Like we do all of them. We were obsessed. And I never missed an episode. In fact, I had a TV in my room that could record VHS, and so I'd record episodes and I'd watch it back. I remember this is a memory I just remembered right now. I recorded the episode of All That where Britney Spears did "Oops, I Did It Again," and she did the
Uh-huh.
full dance as the musical guest. And I recorded it because I wanted to learn the dance, and that was the only way to do it back in the day. I couldn't just go to YouTube, so I recorded it and then I play it over and over, and I like learned the whole like dance. I still know it, by the way. But yeah, I remember doing that in my room. But yeah, in fact, I have a fun story I like to tell that is like a don't give up kids type of story. So
Yeah.
I moved to LA and got an agent and started auditioning. And I actually had an audition for season 6 of All That as just a bit character. I think I was
Wow.
like lemonade girl number 2, and I had like 2 lines, and I auditioned, and I was so intimidated that it was my favorite show that I totally bombed. I bombed the audition. I did a terrible job, flubbed my lines. I didn't even get a call back. They were like, "Bye, we don't ever want to see you again. Goodbye." And I like cried, dude. I cried. I was so sad. I'm like, that was my one shot to be on my favorite show
Wow.
in the whole world, and I didn't get it. Um, but that's why you never give up, and you don't, you know, it's not the end of the world, because a year later, it wasn't an audition for a bit part. It was an audition for a cast member, and that's
Oh,
the
it
one
was
that
only a
worked out.
year
Yeah,
between.
it was next year, because it was season 6, and then
Oh,
season 7 was my season. So yeah, it was like 1 year. But yeah, how cool is that? I like, love that story. I'm so glad I
that's so
didn't get the
cool.
bit part, because then maybe it just wouldn't have worked. I don't know, but like I'm so glad it unfolded the way it was supposed to.
Did Nickelodeon like ever sit like the 7 of you down and like talk about like the pressure of like feel, like did they help like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
guide you through like
Oh, of
filling
course.
the
Oh, of
pressure
course. No,
of
they
it?
were incredible. They, yeah, yeah. They were incredibly nurturing. In fact, before we ever even started rehearsing the sketches, we did sort of like a 3-day boot camp. That was like 3 days of improv exercises with each other to like learn to trust each other and learn to not care about making a fool in front of each other, because we were kids, right? Like these, who had never met each other, and now we need to like have chemistry together for these
Right.
scenes. So it was 3 days of just lots of fun. And I remember Sugar and Coffee was one of the sketches. They had all of us read it. They had like Jack and Chelsea do Sugar and Coffee, then they had me and Kyle
Mhm.
do it, and then they had me and Jack do it, and then Chelsea and Kyle, and then Giovanni and Brian do it, and Giovanni and Jack. Like we all did Sugar and Coffee. So it was interesting on the first day when we got the script and there was me and Kyle, like they picked us out of that. But yeah, no, they were very, very nurturing. They did not just throw us into the fire. They guided us. They treated
That's
us with
cool.
so much patience, and we were all very familiar with the earlier seasons of the show, so we knew we had big shoes to fill, for sure, for sure. I mean, I worshipped Amanda Bynes. Like she was my idol. Like her and Carol Burnett were my 2 favorite people on
Yeah,
planet Earth. Um, so yeah, we knew.
that's awesome. Yeah, I loved Amanda Bynes. I thought she was gonna be like the biggest female comedic actress of all time. I was like, you could see it at such a young age, like this
Yeah.
little girl is brilliant, like you could see it so early. And yeah, and then we know the history of what happened. But yeah, I was just, that cast is just, it's such big shoes to fill. Like everyone is like a killer in this game. Like
Yeah.
everyone is on their A game, just
Yeah.
absolutely crushing it. And so I'm wondering, when did it finally stop feeling like the new cast and being like, no, this is all that, like this, we're owning this now.
Yeah, so you got to think about how fast kids grow up, right? So a kid watching season 1 of all that was then
Yeah.
too old to watch season 7. That kids
Yeah.
grow, I mean, as you're going to find out, like kids grow so fast. Chloe now, she's 9. She is not still watching a show she watched 7 years ago. She's just not. She's on to
Yeah.
the next thing. So I think people who rag on us, right? They're like, you're not the real original cast. Like, we only recognize the OG cast. They don't understand that our seasons had our own fans that never even
100%.
watched the original seasons, right?
Yeah.
Like they didn't.
Yeah.
They weren't really familiar with Keenan and Kel, but they knew us. It's just different generations. Now it's like as an adult, you can remember many, many, many years of SNL and different casts, but that's not the same with kids. So we had our own group of fans for our 4 seasons, or at least my 4 seasons, than
Hmm.
the original seasons did. So yeah, it's I would say I think when season 1 aired, and we all started getting recognized like everywhere we went, and it was such a positive response by everybody, and then the network immediately picked it up for another season. I think that's when it started to click, like, oh, we're not just trying to you know, be the freaking what is it, the Saved by the
Like the
Bell, the new
replacements or
class or
something.
whatever. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not trying to
yeah.
be. It's not that. Like, oh, we actually are doing our own thing, and we didn't try to copy the old characters. We didn't try to do what they were doing. We had our own characters, our own sketches, and kind of just had our own charm. And that's when it felt real. And then we got a Spears, right? And then like Britney Spears sisters on the show. I was like, we must be doing pretty well if we got a Spears.
Yeah. Yep. When you get a Spears, you're doing
Hmm.
something right.
Yeah.
The part that I found fascinating was like, we see the finished product, but you guys actually had to like make this insanity every week. Like all that has been described as, essentially Saturday Night Live for kids. And so from inside the production, did it actually feel like you were making a kid's version of SNL?
Yeah, it did. There's only really been a handful of, that kind of sketch comedy show. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Mad TV and stuff like that. But it really was, all that was such the perfect marriage of TV, of being a TV show and being theater, which was great for me because I grew up in theater and I grew up with that live audience response from dance competitions and being in theatrical productions, that we had the ability to redo takes and do lines over again because it was filmed and edited later, but yet we also had the thrill of shooting it in front of a live audience. So we got that kind of instant response. Like if you landed a funny line perfectly and you have an audience of 300 kids hopped up on sugar, like laughing their heads off, it is the most satisfying feeling you'll ever feel in your whole life. Like it was like a drug, dude. Like I miss that. There'd be times when like, we'd be in between scenes and they're doing something with the cameras and yet the audience is still there and I'd be sitting there on set and I'd just be like, and then you just like start laughing, right? Like I just had him in the palm of my hand.
That's
So
so
much fun. So basically we would rehearse the sketches Monday through Wednesday. Thursday was all filming without an audience, and then
Mhm.
Friday, the second half of Friday, we had a live audience. So we would usually pick one or two sketches that could be done fairly all the way through without too many cuts and too much messy stuff. Sometimes messy stuff, but that we could do in front of the live audience, hopefully without cutting. So they usually pick like a Together Forever was a sketch I did with Jack DeSena. Just him and me. We were like the perfect couple. And that one could be done from beginning to end without cutting. And so, yeah, regardless of whether we mess up or there's a blooper where I literally fall out of my chair on accident and they kept it in the edit because we kept going. Um, that, it was just, I'm so blessed. There's just not many shows like that where you get to have both. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Everyone sees like the finished 22-minute episode, but there's so much that goes on leading up to that or behind it. What's something you think audiences completely misunderstand about making all that?
That's a really good question. Um, I like, so we did so much messy stuff, right? Like you're on Nickelodeon. There's slime. There's nacho cheese being poured on you. There's pizza's getting thrown in people's face. We did a show called sketch called Tilt-A-Hurl, where it's like you're a carny and then you get puked on. I think that one thing I wish everyone could see is that we have to film it up to the messy point to get it perfect before we get messy. Because once you
Mhm.
get covered in a mess, you can't go back.
Yeah.
So you'll have the director yelling, hold, hold, please hold. And if you hear hold, everybody stops. Don't get messy. Like say I'm supposed to pie Jack in the face. We'll do the scene up until that point and I'll go back to do it. And if I hear hold, I gotta stop. Right. But if I don't hear hold, I'm going for it. I'm doing it. And that's just a lot of fun. But yeah, there's definitely times where hold was said and no one heard it. And the
And it
mess
keeps
just happened. And then we just have to go from there. And just that show made me so brave and
yeah.
fearless, really. Like, I can't I'm not scared of messes. Like I was like, oh no, I got something spilled on me. Oops. Oh well. Like I have to do something gross. Like yeah, okay, who cares?
Like it inadvertently like made you ready to raise kids and have like
Oh, totally.
puke and all this stuff on
Oh
you. You're
yeah.
like, I've been doing that since I was a teenager. This is nothing.
Unfazed. Totally unfazed. None of this phases me at all.
Did you ever see the SNL movie that came out a few years ago, where it was like
Netflix?
the first
Yes.
episode? It was the first
Genius.
episode.
Yes. Genius. Loved it.
Zach was saying he's always curious about like the chaos of making a show, and that movie definitely shows. I mean, it's the first episode of
Yeah.
a show that's now over 50 years old, but it shows the chaos of making a show. Do you think did you get similar vibes like of, oh, that's kind of how it was with our show a little bit when you were watching the movie?
Yeah, a little bit. Because that was kind of through adult eyes, there was a lot of like politics, right? There's a lot of kind of that.
True.
Yeah, that we didn't have to deal with any of that.
Like
We
you
just
don't know what you don't know.
right, exactly. So yes, there was
Yeah.
chaos because when you're on a network television show, there's a lot of people involved. I mean, there's just 5 people just in hair and makeup. You know, there's 4 cameras and there's like 2 people at each camera, and there's the boom mic and the grips and the props and the this and the that and the director and the assistant director and the dialogue coach, and just there's so many people. And then you have the live audience on top of that. So then that's a lot of like, oh my gosh, you know, it's time. And then you had the network heads on top of that who would usually be there for filming. And even though we were kids, we were aware of that, right? We were very aware that the heads of the network could us at any time.
Oh,
so
dang,
it definitely,
scary.
you know, it was a good kind of intimidating though, right? Like they were very nice to us, but we also knew they held our careers in their hands. So it was just that extra, like, I'm gonna give it even more tonight. Like I'm gonna go the extra mile. I'm gonna have more energy. I'm gonna nail those lines the first time. And that's still carried over into my life now. Like I still remember that like kind of people pleasing, like gotta nail it type of mindset going into a show. So yeah, even at 14, you know, we're like doing our little, you know, 1, 2, 3, go, you know, before we go out on set, knowing like, guys, we gotta nail it. Like we gotta do it.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I found something from 2002 that I really wanted to ask you about, because this wasn't like Lisa looking back on the Nickelodeon years. This was like actually you like in it at 14, 15, like while it was happening, while it was blowing up. And the Los Angeles Times followed you to a dance recital. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, I do.
You talked about finishing your performance and suddenly having like 30 or 40 little girls like surrounding you for your autograph. And apparently like they're all desperately like needed to know whether you had like a limousine and like had all these questions. Do you
yes
do you remember that?
I vividly remember that. You know, we all had our own popularity, right? The fun thing about our cast is we were very diverse, and everybody had, you know, Chelsea was kind of like the pretty girl, and you know, Jack was like the jock funny guy, and Kyle was like the nerdy kid, and I was like the cute sweet little girl. There was just something that really was I don't know if you watched the DCC show on Netflix about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, but if you guys watching out there, it's incredibly popular. And there's this one girl named Reese, and she is by far the most popular cheerleader. And it's because she is this like sweet, wholesome, like, you know, church going, respectful, you know, cutie, right? She's incredibly talented. And like little girl audiences flock to that personality. And I actually related a lot to Reese while I was watching that show, because I'm like, oh, that was me. Like, you know, it was, you know, Chelsea is kind of like the hot girl. She kind of appealed more to like the boy audience, and like she was more Britney Spears, like pop star, but like it was the little girls watching the show that loved me. Like that was just, I was their favorite. And that's a strong army. I don't know if you know about Taylor Swift, but little girls, they are strong. I've heard. You get it in America, all little girls in America.
Brittany around that time was probably the biggest. The
Yes,
biggest. She
no,
was
she was
the
like at
Taylor
the top
Swift
of
of
her
that.
career.
Were you okay with that? Were you okay like being kind of pigeonholed to the like sweet innocent girl, and Chelsea's the hot girl, and this is the nerd?
No,
Like, were you?
I wasn't pigeonholed
Yeah.
because it was who I was. It was who I was. It was absolutely who we
Oh,
were.
okay.
Like
Oh,
Chloe
okay. So
really,
you're like,
Chloe, gosh, Chelsea really was like an aspiring pop star, and I really was like the sweet, innocent little girl. Like anytime my cast members like would say a swear word, I would like whack them and be like, "Don't say that!" Like you can't. Like I really was a goody two shoes. I talked the talk and I walked the walk. And so yeah, I couldn't really go anywhere. I couldn't go to the shopping mall. I used to go to Limited Too. I couldn't go to Limited Too anymore because I would just get bombarded by girls. And but I loved it. I loved it, loved it. And my mom instilled in me at a very young age. She's like, "This will not last. This will not last." Every little girl that comes up to you, every fan that comes up to you, you give them the time of day. You act like it's the
wow.
last fan you'll ever talk to, because this will not last. You're gonna miss it. And let me tell you,
Wow.
I'm so glad that she gave me that advice because it's so true. It's so true.
I'm like not using any of these. That is great. Your parents really set you up for success. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
not just the success, but the emotional and maturity and the weight of it. They
Yeah.
really like, what great advice.
Yeah, she was
Um,
they were also like, you learn everybody's name on set. Everybody. I don't care what position they're in. You learn their name and you say good morning to them every time you walk on set. And I did. And I would go visit everybody on my breaks, and I would make sure I, was just very sweet and kind and respectful to every single person on that set. And that, yeah, that still carries over. You hear these stories of like actors being such divas, and yeah, I've seen it. I've seen a lot of actors, some that that it's just they're just jerks on set and they just don't care. They just think they're the center of attention. Everyone should just revolve around them. And it's just not true. Everybody there is working just as hard as you are, if not 10 times harder. And they also want to go
mhm.
home to their families at the end of the day. So show them some respect.
and
Like we're all here
and
moving the
you
machine forward.
you understood that then.
Oh yeah.
You understood.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Did being on television at that age ultimately make you more confident or more self-conscious?
No, way more confident. Super
Yeah.
confident. Yeah. We didn't have social media back then, which thank goodness. Oh my gosh, dude. I hear these stories of like Victorious and how like they had to make all the kids lock up their phones before they went on set because they were so distracted with their followers and competing for likes and competing for comments. And like,
Wow.
can you imagine? Dude, we didn't have phones, we didn't have social media, we just lived in the moment every single day. And I think it's because of that that I have such vivid memories of all 4 years. Like I could recall entire days, right? Like I already have a really good
Wow.
memory, but I think it was because we were living in the moment, having fun with each other, focusing on what we were doing and not competing for likes and follows. Like we weren't taking selfies and making content and like talking to our fans to watch the new episode on Saturday. We didn't have the ability. We didn't have social media. So
Yeah.
it was yeah, it was so nice that I got to experience that, before all of that exploded. Jeez. Because I mean, yeah, body
Yeah.
shaming, but people making fun of your body
Oh
or
my
your
god.
acne or like, anything like that instant feedback from
Oh, yeah, anything. Yeah.
yeah, sea of keyboard warriors. Like, it's just I'm so glad I didn't really have to do that when I was young age.
That is good. But what you did get to deal with is a lot of famous people just casually walking into your workplace.
Yeah.
Your first season alone had like Frankie Muniz, Aaron Carter, Britney Spears, Tony Hawk, Mandy Moore, Keenan Thompson, like a ridiculous list of
Oh yeah.
guests and performers. Who walked onto that set and instantly turned you from like Lisa, the professional actor, back to Lisa, the fan, who was like, oh my God.
Amanda. It was always Amanda. She guest starred probably twice, and both times I just butterflies. Like I'm like, she's here. Oh my god. Like, and she
Wow.
was she was so sweet to me. Like she's the one I just fangirled over and just couldn't talk when she was around. And she was so sweet to me. Anytime I worked with her, I did a couple promos with her too. And just so loving, so sweet, gave me the time of day. It was really awesome. But it was funny because I was homeschooled and I didn't
Mhm.
listen to a lot of popular music when I was growing up. I listened to like a lot of Broadway soundtracks and a lot of like classic rock because that's what my dad listened to. Um, so I wasn't really up on the scene, right? So it's
Right.
more fun now looking back and knowing the people that were on set because I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to work with Usher. When I was a kid, I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know who Usher is, right? Like I didn't know. I really didn't know. So I didn't get starstruck very often because I just wasn't familiar with a lot of these artists. But now it's fun to look back and I'll be like, I did what? Like I got to hang out with Justin Timberlake. I mean, I knew Justin Timberlake, but like, you know what I mean?
Wait,
Like,
didn't you do like a promo with like Bruce Willis when I was doing my research?
yes, yes, yes,
Right?
yes. Yeah.
You had like Bruce there?
We kind of convinced him to do it because it was called the Snick Sleepover Jam. And it was us doing live bumpers
Yeah.
between episodes. And it was us and a bunch of kids having a sleepover, right? We were all in jammies, like having fun. And Bruce Willis and Demi Moore's kids were on the set with us. They were part of it. And so in the shadows were Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher and Bruce Willis. They were just watching the kids do their thing. And the producers came up to us and they're like, hey, just so you know, we might be rewriting one of these scenes if we can get Bruce Willis to come do it with you. And we're like, and these were live on television. There's no rehearsal. There's no like, it's just like,
Wow.
and then
Wow.
they gave me the scene because they one take wonder over here. So of course they knew I would nail it. So they came up to me and I had 5 minutes and they were like, you're going to do a scene with Bruce Willis and this is what you're going to say and this is what he's going to say and just can you memorize this right now and okay, we're going to go live in 10 seconds, okay, and go. Like it was that
Wow.
fast.
Yeah.
But he was
You
so
were so
sweet, he was so
good.
nice. It was a cute little
You were
segment. Yeah, but we had no
you
time to prepare for that.
wow. When I saw it, I
Yeah,
was like, oh, he doesn't really seem like it didn't seem like he was prepared. Like it didn't like you seemed so prepared when I watched it. And Bruce kind of felt like off, like he was just like there. And then
yeah,
after like live to his kid, like kind of kissing his girl. And it
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
oh, he doesn't even know what he's doing. This makes so much sense now
So
that
it
you
says, yeah.
explained it.
They just
Oh, that's
happened to be on the set and one of the producers was brave enough to go ask him if he'd do a segment. And I'm very much somebody who likes to be prepared, or I was as a kid. I'm better now,
yeah.
but I liked to be memorized. I liked to be prepared. I liked to know exactly what was going on. So when I got thrown stuff like that, and especially that scene with Bruce Willis, I was like, I nailed it. Of course I nailed it,
You killed
obviously.
it. You killed it. Yeah, it's crazy. I have such like because I was like born in 89. And so I kind of like grew up like with the first cast.
Yeah,
But and then when you came on the scene, I was getting into like I was a teenager.
yeah,
And so it felt like there was a shift where it's like it felt kind of like in a kid's mind, you like view people kind of like similar. So you're like, oh, like Lisa is kind of like the Amanda Bynes like replacement. And you know, like in your kid mind, you're feeling
yeah.
like, oh, these were like the new iterations of past people that we had. Did you feel that at all? Like if there was like a passing of the torch at all, like from you or from Amanda Bynes, like to you or no?
That's so funny you say that because the first day, remember I said I was really intimidated when I walked in the schoolroom and all the kids were there?
Yeah.
I specifically remember like while we were just hanging out waiting for it to happen, like Jack and Chelsea and Brian were like assigning characters. Like Jack was like, I'm the new Josh Server, and like you're the new Amanda, and like you're Lori Beth, and like, oh my gosh, you're Keenan and you're like it was so fun. I was like, oh my God. Like we literally were like, who's who in the new cats? And um I I don't know. I guess we did a little bit, but I think it was so reiterated to us over and over by the producers of the show that like you're not trying to replace them. Like you are your
Oh yeah.
own seasons, you are your own characters. Like you be yourself. Um, so yeah, I mean, we didn't really feel too much of that. But yeah, I mean, it's so funny even like We had a big all that reunion with both the original cast and my cast back at Stanley's Kamikaze many years ago. But it was like the last time that all of us were together, and then like half of us went out and like went bowling and like got drunk afterward. And I remember like putting my arm around like Danny Tamborelli and Josh and being like, "We loved you guys so much. We knew we had to fill your shoes and we respected you so much." And they were like, "You did great. You did honor." You know, it's just like
Aw.
that's funny moments. I have some great pictures from that night. But yeah, you know, it's like, yeah, we knew that we were able to be ourselves, but it's hard not to, you know, want to make sure
Associate,
you live
yeah.
up to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, yeah, this is just off the top of my head, but I remember this like transition. So and like as a kid, you kind of associate different people with different people. I remember like I was at camp or so I was like a summer camp, and I was like, I forgot who it was, but you know the sketch with Lori and it's like they're all like stuck on the island together, and it's like
Island Girls. Yep.
yeah,
Forever and ever and ever
yeah,
and ever.
yeah,
With
she was so funny.
Lisa Reyes and Lori Beth. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she was so funny, and I for some reason I was like, this girl looks like her at my camp. I'm like, it's not like it's a random camp in the Bay Area. Like she's not gonna be here. But yeah, I remember I was like, oh my god, is that her? But no, it definitely was not.
I love Elisa. She and I had a project going for a long time, and I'm really sad it never went off the ground. But
Oh,
she and I had a little like single camera show we were gonna try to star in together. I love her to death. She was so before Amanda entered all that, Elisa was like my favorite. I mean, I loved them both
yeah,
equally, but like from the very beginning, I was a big Elisa fan. And I loved Katrina too, but there's just something about like Elisa's like bubbly personality that like really connected with me. And I love Elisa. So then it's fun to like fast forward all those years and like have her in my house, like up in my podcast studio at the time, or my filming studio, and like interviewing her. And you know, I'm interviewing her just as much for myself as I am for my audience, right? Because like I have all these burning questions. But yeah, it's
that's
so
really
so so
cool.
so sweet. I just had a video with Katrina viral again. It's at like, you know, 300,000 views or something of her and I talking about what slime tastes like. So it's just funny how people are still interested like all these years later.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. I was like, oh, okay. I remember, I mean, I went like when I was a kid, you know, they had like at Universal the Nickelodeon studios. So
Hmm.
you could like tour, you know, they like really tried to make it like they tried to like use it, like the actual Nickelodeon studio, but you guys didn't film there, right?
No, so we only filmed at Nick on Sunset in
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood. I think Katrina was saying the first two seasons of all that I think were in Florida, and then I think they moved to LA, or first couple, I don't know, handful of seasons was Florida, and then they moved to LA. But yeah, I know I'm so sad I didn't get to experience the Florida studios in its heyday. I did get to go there for like Slime Time Live,
Mm-hmm.
and You Pick Live, but it just wasn't quite the same. Or I guess You Pick Live was New York, but it just, you know, it wasn't quite the same. So, you know, I couldn't go into a soundstage and see the aggro crag, right? Like I couldn't go to another soundstage and see Legends of the Hidden Temple, you know, the Figure It Out set. You know, it's gosh, can you imagine? It's so sad that it's like it's gone. And now my studio's Nick on Sunset's gone. It's just apartments now. It's like, oh, passing of time.
Yeah. I love those times though. Like the 90s and early 2000s was like such a time. I was just talking about it with my wife. I was like, the early 2000s was like such a weird transition from the 90s. Just like the 80s to the 90s. I feel like when there's that transition to the next decade, it's like a weird moment. And like in the
Yeah,
early 2000s, like everything was like extreme and like and gack, and you know, it was like everything was like
yes,
kind of crazy, and that's like what
yeah.
we grew up in. And I don't I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I loved it. I was
Oh
like, this
yeah.
is crazy, this is great. Yeah, I
There
want to
really
be like
was
the aggro crag.
yeah, there really was a sweet spot. Like right before social media took off. You know, MySpace was just starting. Like I think
Yeah.
the our third or fourth season. I remember being in the schoolroom and Shane was like, "We have to set you up a MySpace page." And I'm like, "What is that?" And he's like, let me show you, like, I was like, oh, this is stupid. I don't know, why would I do this? But yeah, it's kind of a beautiful time where you got to think, if you're a kid and you have a TV, there's really three channels that you care about, and that's Disney, Nickelodeon, and Cartoon Network. And on Saturday night, Nickelodeon ruled. We had the best programming on Saturday night because we had Snick. So you got to think,
100%.
if you're a kid, you sit down on the couch and you have one thing to watch. You don't have YouTube where you don't have TikTok where you just scroll. What am I going to watch? Oh, 5 seconds of this and then watch on my phone. Like, you had one thing to watch and you were laser focused in. And it's just really cool that I got to be a part of that time. I think that's probably why, like, we kind of skyrocketed to fame so quickly and became so recognizable, is because overnight, it's like kids were just watching us. And when you watch somebody's
Right.
face nonstop for a half an hour, it's every Saturday night. It's like, I know you. I feel like I know you. You're in my living room. Now it's just, there's so many. Now there's more opportunities for more people to be seen and have their talent be shown, and that's great. But it's just very different. There's so many more distractions, so many other places your eyes can go, in the span of 30 minutes.
I was gonna ask you, actually. It's funny that you brought that up. I found that years later, somebody asked whether there were any like Snick on air dares you wish you hadn't done, and your response was essentially all of them. Which Snick on air dare was the absolute worst?
No way, man. That must have been, I don't know. I must have said that as a joke. I'm so glad I did all of them. Again, like, now that I have like this adult, like, I'm looking at it through adult eyes in the retrospect.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so glad I did all that stuff. That's so awesome. Like I said, it made me fearless. I'm so fearless because you just have to get over it, right? If they're like, you need to put this cockroach in your mouth, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, okay, I trust that it's safe because you said it's safe, and here we go. Let's just get the take. It's not just like, what? You don't focus on what you're doing and why it's gross. You just focus on that you have to get it done. You know what I mean? And that's 4 years of Nickelodeon for you. No, they were all super gross. And I'm glad I did all of them. I think the worst one is I had to be in a bathtub full of dead fish. And they were all real fish. And the only reason that was super bad is because it made me smell like fish for probably 3 days or 4 days. Like, you can't just shower it off. It like sinks into your skin. And so when you're like a 16-year-old girl and you're already just having a lot of insecurities and now you smell like fish, that's not super fun.
Yeah. Not the
But
best.
we did everything. I rubbed lemons on my skin in the shower like 3 times a day trying to get this smell off. It was insane, dude.
Wow.
Like, fish is no joke. So the actual act of being in the fish was fine. It was the aftermath of smelling like fish.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. But yeah, you had the cockroach comment. That was season 4. So by this time, nothing phases us. We've done it all. So when they say that Claudia needs to put a live cockroach in her mouth, I'm like, bring it on, man. Let's do it.
Wow.
And if you're ready for the gross story, I will tell it to you.
Please.
If you're ready. Yes or no? Gross story?
Yeah.
Do you want it? Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
basically, we had a cockroach wrangler who brought the cockroach onto set. And he was like, let me instruct you on how you're going to put this guy in your mouth. And I'm like, sock it to me. And he's like, so you're going to gently place him on your tongue and then gently push him with your tongue against the roof of your mouth so that he doesn't try to crawl down your throat. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's the next one? I can't wait. And they're like,
Yeah.
he's gonna grip onto your tongue with his little feet, and it's gonna feel like Velcro, like stuck onto your tongue, because he's gonna be freaked out. And when cockroaches get freaked out, they spit. I guess hissing cockroaches. So they're like, you're gonna feel them spit into your mouth. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's go.
Bring it on.
And I did it. I think I had to do 2 takes of it. It was fine. It was gross, but like you said, at that point, Claudia I'd had tarantulas crawl on me for Claudia. Yeah, I dealt with rats. She's used to it.
Let's talk a little bit about Claudia, because I feel like that really became like one of the biggest characters of your generation of all of that. And that character was yours, you know, and
Yeah.
we have to talk about Claudia. Like, where did Claudia come from?
She's actually way more special than I even realized at the time. So this was kind of a joke by the writers to go completely against type because like I
Yeah.
said, I was a ray of sunshine. I was happy go lucky. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Anytime you saw me, I would never stop smiling from the second I got to set, for the second I got home. I was just so happy. And they were like, let's turn her goth. And they just made me the complete opposite of what I was at the time. And I had so much fun with that. I loved being Claudia. I loved the jewelry. I loved the wig, the nose ring, the lip ring, that I had to paint my nails black every single time. And it really kind of gave me this appreciation and love for spooky stuff and the macabre and like goth culture. And I learned a lot about it. And I honestly think that's like why I was later in a goth metal band, because of that. I still have, it's not this one, I wish I would have worn it, but there's still some pieces of jewelry that I wore as Claudia that I still have, that I still wear on stage, a couple pieces of clothing and jewelry. Yeah. But the funny thing is that, you know, at the time I really just thought I was playing a fun character, you know, for my job, right? I was just having fun with the character. But it's crazy how like throughout the years, I've had people message me and be like, that was the first depiction of an alt girl I ever saw on TV. And they're like, thank you for doing that. Like, you made me feel better about myself. Like, I leaned that way, and there was, you know, it just wasn't represented on television. But like, I loved Claudia. I felt like I related to her. Like, thank you for inspiring me to keep being myself. And I'm like, I had no idea that that actually meant something to people, but I get it often. I really do. So I think that's like super cool.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I mean, I was gonna ask you, like, you know, when did you realize fans really liked this weird little character?
Usually you get fans just quoting it in your face.
Yeah.
You
But
know
was
what
it
I mean?
like right after the character premiered, it was like, oh,
Yeah,
like there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
phone.
So
I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm like looking at a phone. There's no real phones back then. But like, when were you like, oh wow, like people are like cosplaying Claudia, or like they really love this character?
yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty obvious which
Yeah.
characters are people's favorites, because we did a lot of fan meet and greets as part of Nickelodeon. Like, they wanted us out there with the people, and especially the All That cast. Like, we were so fun that they would just send us to every Nickelodeon event and all sorts of contests. You know, we'd go hang out with contest winners and stuff. But when we would do these autograph signings that would last hours and hours and hours, and we just talked to like hundreds of kids, like I said, it was the ones that came up, they would tell you their favorite character, they would quote it to you in their face, in your face, they would
Wow.
ask you questions about the character. And it's like, oh, it seems like people ask me a lot about Claudia and a lot about Sugar and Coffee. Like, those seem to be the most popular characters. So yeah.
And then 20 years later, you did something I love. You brought her back for the Claudia special on Temperamental. How
Yes,
was it
I
to
did.
get into character after being so long? Was it like putting on an old shoe? Like it was just right back to it, or did it take like a
Yeah, it
second
was
to like
totally. It was a lot of fun. In fact, I think the purple streaks that I put in that wig, I think those are the same purple streaks that came from the Claudia wig. And I still have the like voodoo doll. Is just like a Barbie doll that looked like Claudia that I would like poke with pins and be like, ow, ow. I still have that. It's on my podcast set. Like I said, I still have a lot of the jewelry, so I put all of that on. I remembered how they would like powder my lips between scenes to make them look really, really pale. And yeah, it was fun. It was like just, you know, visiting an old friend.
Okay, I know we said we were gonna do an hour, but I told you your life is like so packed.
I know, I have so much going on.
We need you're too big for life itself. So I need a little bit more time with you. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Maybe a
Yeah,
little bit more?
absolutely. Yes,
Okay.
totally.
Okay, fantastic. I'm like, we haven't even got out of the all that years. You know, like there's
I mean,
so
that's
much more
mostly what people
after.
care about. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what people want to hear about. So
I think the entire career that is still going is so fascinating, because it's like after that, the entertainment didn't end. It can't. It
Yeah.
can't. It's in you. There's no
It's
way.
in my blood. I can't stop. Yeah.
It's in your blood. And so was there like, you know, you go from like kids quoting Claudia and doing the press tours and all, you know, and all the stuff, and then the show ends.
Yeah.
And then is there like an adjustment period after all that ended where there was a moment like, okay, if I'm not like Lisa from all that, like who am I? Like, was there a weird moment after all that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the show felt complete to me. You know, it's I make the joke that like if the show was still going on, I would still be doing it because I loved it so much. Like every day on set, I just was having the time of my life. It's absolutely true. But after those 4 years, it really did kind of feel complete, right? We did this big 10th anniversary special. We brought all the original cast members back and we just kind of put a beautiful bow on it and said goodbye. And a lot of actors do not get that, right? A lot of actors wake up on Monday morning and realize and find out their show's been canceled and they don't get
Yeah.
that public goodbye and the crew and the cast. So I was so thankful to not
closure.
only the closure, yeah, not only did I
Yeah.
get 4 whole seasons of being on a show, which is like insane. I also got to like say goodbye to it. So that if I felt closure from that, but and I was really ready to explore some other opportunities and just keep acting and do more movies and do more TV. And I was 18 around this time. And so, and again, just being homeschooled, I was a very late bloomer and socially awkward and didn't have a lot of the high school experiences everybody else did. I was just very gung ho on my career. I'm like, I got too invested in it, and there were 3 really, really big roles that 2 of them I booked, and then they were taken away from me because they got somebody more famous. And then one, I was the runner-up, and I should have got it, and it was a life-changing role, and I will never tell anybody what it actually was, but it was. I still have nightmares about it every once in a while. That I was so close, and it should have been me.
Damn. But
And that
it's
really
something
affected
well
me.
known that we would know about. Like,
Incredibly well done. Yeah.
okay.
But
the date
I
no, I'm
was
just-
completely no. I'll never confirm. I'll never confirm what it was, but it was completely crushing, and I just spiraled into this depression because I wanted that so bad. And then the other 2 roles, like to book a role and get excited about it, and then have it taken away because they're like, oh, we actually found somebody more famous who will do it. So like, who are you? Get away. You know, it sucks.
yeah.
And so my parents, again, who had been so supportive and been such a good rock for me my whole career, they were starting to see that it was just affecting me a little too much. This fantasy world that is Hollywood, where things just aren't fair. It's not fair. If you're the best for a job, it doesn't mean you get it, you know? And
Yeah.
I just couldn't, in my youth, I couldn't understand like why this was happening. And my parents are like, you need to get out of Hollywood now because you're gonna spiral. And that's what happens to child actors is they spiral because they're living a life that's not real and they don't have any sense of reality. So my parents were like, you got to get out. You got to get out of Hollywood. You got to go to college. You got to get friends that are not in this business and just go experience real life for a while. And I did. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. It was the best. It was the best thing. I fell into this. I was still kind of in this depression because of this well-known project that I didn't get cast in.
Yep.
And I kind of got this new group of friends that kind of like accepted me into their circle. And I remember like venting to them about this role that I wanted so bad. And it was so clear in the audition that I should have got it, like so clear.
Yeah.
And they were just like, what is that? What are you talking about? We don't care. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it like rewired my brain that like these people in Oregon, they don't care. Like
They don't give a
yeah. Oh, and then it made me not care. And it made me like, oh, they like me for me. They want to be friends with me because they didn't watch my show. They don't care that I was on Nickelodeon. Like they just like my personality.
That's so
incredibly
beautiful.
Therapeutic, right? And just put my head back on my shoulders, grounded me, just it was a whole new me. And I'm so thankful that happened because yeah, there is that weird transition from child star to adult. And I've loved my career ever since, and I'm still friends with a lot of those people, and it's just Yeah, it's a weird life to be a child star for sure. It's very, very strange, and very few people can relate to it.
Relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting a sense of how that influenced you today, because from what I see from you today is like the community that you surround yourself with, whether it's like two bands, your family, the people behind your podcast, you know, like the people that you surround yourself now, it's influenced from that time where it's like, I want to be around people that like me for me and that I enjoy hanging out with. And so it's so interesting to see kind of that adjustment period influence who you surround yourself with as an
Yeah.
adult.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty cool to see. Um, I also found it interesting too, because even though all that eventually ended, the sketch comedy part of Lisa Foyle's very clearly did not. And it's actually part of why you're here tonight, because we got Amanda. No, because you're frozen. Okay, hopefully you can hear me though. It okay. The picture is a great frozen picture, by the way. Hopefully you can hear me. Uh-oh.
Come on,
Cece.
internet. I told you
Nope.
my internet does this. I told you. I
But it was
told
a
you.
great pause. You were like
Okay,
this.
good.
It
I
was
was like,
yeah, it was perfect. It was like, did you plan this? Because I was saying like I kind of was reintroduced you through a sketch online that blew up where you are
oh
playing
yeah, yeah.
a cosplayer, a superhero cosplay sketch where everyone looks completely badass dressed as superheroes until there's actual danger, and it was absolutely hilarious. It made me laugh out loud. And so it's really cool to see the sketch comedy like still in you. It's like instilled in you. Where did that sketch and the stuff you're doing online, where did that come from?
Yeah, comedy will never leave me. It's just, you know, it's just in me. It's just who I am. So that wait till you see the full thing. It's a short film. Um,
Okay.
and it was when I moved to Vegas, it took me a long time to find my tribe. I hate saying that, but like to find my people. It's very hard to make friends in Vegas because it's a very transient town. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just takes a while. And once I like found my people and other entertainers and creatives that I liked being around, I was working with this production company called Ismahawk in town that they got famous for making superhero fan films because they're
Mhm.
very, very good at special effects, and they're just like kind of this like group of young people who just are all doing it themselves, and some of their stuff looks better than DC, right? Um, so they had called me and they're like, "Hey, we're entering this contest called the 48-hour film festival. And what that means is that once we enter and the timer starts, like we get a genre and that's basically it. And then we have 48 hours to make a short film based on that genre. Can we call you to be an actor in it?" And I'm like, "Sure, why not?" And so yeah, they called me and they're like, "Okay, the genre is like I forget, it was like road trip movie or some kind of like super fantasy. I don't know what it was, but they had come up with kind of this premise for this sketch, and I, drove to set, and they instantly put a costume on me, and we're trying to like figure out the lines. We're working out the scene, and it eventually, yeah, it turned out to be this group of cosplayers road trip into a convention, and then they have some car trouble, and they pull over to this garage to go in to see if somebody can help them, and they see a crime in progress, but they're dressed like superheroes. And so we try to leave, but then the Thor looking character, we were all our own characters, like we made up names and everything, but he was like, "What are we doing? We're superheroes." And we're like, "We're not real superheroes, like we can't go do that." And he's like, "Yes we can, like we got to do it." So we storm back in there and we're like, "Yeah, you bring it on." And they just completely kick our butts. Like it's very, very funny. And the fact that it was written, produced, shot, filmed, exported, everything in 48 hours.
Wow.
Insane. It's one of the funniest like most well done projects I've ever been involved in, and it just goes to show you, like, sometimes creatives, like, under the gun, like, we can produce some good stuff. If we sometimes creatives, dude, if we sit on it too long, we lose the magic. Sometimes you just got to go. You just got to like act on it. But yeah, so basically, I posted. I have it. I have the short film on my computer, and I keep talk over the last couple of years. I've talked to the production company. I'm like, guys, we got to release this, and they're like, it's not ready yet. Like, we want to make some tweaks. Like, we only had 48 hours. We know we can make it better. We want to add some more special effects. I'm like, guys, get it done. I want to release it, and they're like, not yet. So then I decided to release just that clip, and it started to take off. And I was tagging Danny, the director, and I was like, hey, Danny, like, people are like this. And he's like, fine. If it gets to 1 million views, we'll release the short. And I was like, okay. And now it's at like 3.5 million. So we were all just like, what? So he and I have a coffee that we need to schedule about talking about how we're going to release it and what they need to get done, because now he has to. Like, it's publicly out there that he has to release it. But yeah, that was, you know, we had 3 actors who were just really good at comedy. And it's, you know, when you get those type of personalities together and they click, the writing was great, but it's like the writing almost doesn't matter if you just have these actors who just are dynamic with each other. So look out for the full thing, because the full thing is very funny and actually very dark. Like, it gets a little dark at the end.
Would you do a like a feature length of it?
That's one of the things we want to talk about at Coffee, is because he's had an idea for a feature length for it for a long time. But now that he realizes there's interest, he's like, maybe we should do this. Like, yes, we should.
Yeah. That's so awesome. When you're shooting something like that, does your like all that instincts kick in? You know, because it's like
for sure.
You're like, it's quick. You're in it. You get your lines. You play off the person and you go. Is it do you ever feel like, oh, I remember this feeling?
Oh,
like,
absolutely. You gotta think that, like, I was on all that for 4 years. You go to college for 4 years. And that's so much of preparing you for life, right? You take 4 years of your formative, like your most formative years, and just do this same thing over and over and get really, really good at it. It stays with you forever. I still think that's the reason I can memorize lines so quickly, is because I had to do it so often those 4 years. Yeah, it's just definitely helps. For sure. Yeah. It never leaves. It never leaves.
That's awesome. I love that. Something else that we also talked about when I was trying to find photos for our promo without letting AI turn you into a completely different human being. And I was like, oh my God, Lisa Foyles has done like 1 million photo shoots known to mankind. And I was like, wow, there's so many. This is wild. After doing this for so long, do you still enjoy doing photo shoots?
Yeah, I actually think that also comes from all that, right? Is because all that, I was becoming multiple characters every single week. Every Monday, I'd wake up and get a script and see what kind of characters I had to turn into that week. And that stayed with me. And I just love being a chameleon. Like, I have a couple great photographers in town who are just like down for anything. And she'll call me up and she'll be like, hey, I had this idea for like this cyborg photo shoot, and I had this outfit. Like, do you want to just come over tomorrow and like do it? And I'm like, yes. So then we'll go to like a storm drain and we'll like shoot on this sci-fi thing, and we'll just try out silly things. And I get to it's almost an extension of acting for me, where I get to embody some kind of character with this costume and, like, you know, do these photos. So, yeah, I love doing that. It's less like I want to be like a pretty runway model, and more just like I want to do something weird. Like, I want to have crazy hair, crazy makeup, and a crazy outfit, and just like take weird pictures. So my personality.
There's many chapters to Lisa Foyles. And one of these chapters I found so fascinating. An entire chapter after Nickelodeon, and I found something you wrote on Kotaku or
Kotaku. No one's ever
Kotaku, like 2011,
Kotaku, yeah.
Where you didn't mince words. You said, video games have absolutely changed my life. And you explained that acting jobs you were getting at the time were actually coming to you because of your involvement in gaming. How did gaming change the trajectory of Lisa Foyles?
So it all happened when I told you when I got really depressed and I moved away from Hollywood. I moved
Mhm.
back to Oregon where there's not a huge acting scene. I did book some great roles in Oregon. I actually did Leverage in Oregon, so where they filmed it. So I was able to book a role for that up there. But that group of friends that I fell into that just liked me for me, she likes me for me. Like they all played video games religiously. And it was this very fun atmosphere, like competitive but silly and like over the top. And so I just kind of started gaming with them. And
Mhm.
not only did they play the games, they were just very knowledgeable about the process and, just very, it was their whole world. And so just naturally, I absorbed that information too, and then also got really involved and became interested. And so in my spare time, I would start making videos about me talking about video games because I'm like, I want to be on camera. I'm an actor. I now know all
Hello.
this stuff about video games, and I'm just gonna, make videos about video games. And I was one of the only like females doing that at the time. So these websites like IGN and Escapist and GameSpot
Mhm.
and Kotaku and they picked me up and they're like, can we feature you? Like, can you come? At the time, everybody still knew me from all that. Like, it was still pretty fresh. So they were like, hey,
Right.
the girl from all that is talking about video games. Can you come do it on our video game site? So then I kind of got big in that scene pretty quickly, and I was going to all the conventions and reviewing games and doing lots of shows about games. But yeah, that was just a whole world that was opened up to me. I didn't realize um, that the storytelling that you could do in video games, right? Like growing up with a Super Nintendo, there's not a lot of narratives going on. But then,
Right.
you get into more of I remember like the first time I played BioShock, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is better than half the movies I saw this year. Like this is like the graphics, the story, the plot twist, like this is like real storytelling. And I loved talking about that kind of stuff. But yeah, my time in gaming was very fun. I did it for many years, and I still dip a toe in every once in a while with working with some gaming channels. Very rarely. I don't really have time to play video games anymore. It was like my whole
Yeah.
life back then. But like I have kids. Like I'm a singer now. Like I don't have time to do that.
What were you playing back then? What
Mm,
games?
dude, everything. Like so, I was really in the spotlight of the video game world when the Wii was just coming out, when the 360 was really popular, when we were getting
Uh-huh.
into the Xbox One. It was the time when it was the biggest technological change in video games of all time.
Definitely.
The graphics change uh, from a PS2 to PS3 is astounding, right? Like
Huge.
now from console to console, it gets a little better, but you compare, you know, a game on the original Xbox to a 360 game. It's night and day. And it was so I was playing everything. I mean, everything from Assassin's Creed, there are all the Uncharted games, like I said, like BioShock. I was a huge Gears of War fan, but then also a big Nintendo fan. So I was also playing all of those and the Zelda games and just everything under the sun because I had to kind of be knowledgeable about all of it. Because I just never knew who I was going to end up in an interview with.
Mhm.
Um, if I'm interviewing Peter Molyneux, I better know about Fable. It's like it just depends. But yeah, no, it was a fun time. It was fun at the time, but now it's such a different scene with it's all streaming, it's all Twitch, it's all that, and just like I can't keep up with that. I don't want to do that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
See,
it's
it's a
not
young man's game
something.
now. Yeah.
um okay, next chapter. Uh eventually you create something where there isn't really a character or a network between you and the audience at all. It's Lisa. It's Lisa and Kevin. Today you're hosting Temperamental with Lisa Foyles as part of this completely different chapter of your career. What did you want Temperamental to give you creatively that you weren't getting anywhere else?
So, especially with all that, like I said before, it was a lot of I like to be prepared. I like to know what's going on. I like to have my
Mhm.
lines memorized. I don't want to step onto camera unless I am completely ready to do my scene. I don't like being caught off guard. That's why I never really did a lot of improv acting. Like I couldn't do like Second City or like it just was not my thing. I liked to be prepared. I like to practice my character in the mirror 100 times before I put it on camera in front of people. And unfortunately, it almost took over my brain too much, because I would just get too committed to like if I would audition for something, I would get too committed to what the words were, and I wanted to get the words perfectly, when it's not really about the words, right? Like when you're acting, it's not about the words, it's what the words mean. But I would just get too into like being perfect and having to memorize everything. And then even when I kind of started my own YouTube channel, I was making little like 5-minute videos with my blue stripy wall. Like a lot of people know those. Even then I would write the script before I performed it, and I would memorize it, and it would be very rehearsed. And if I didn't like the way I said something, I would do it again. I just had to have it perfect. And then just as the years went by, I'm like, that's so exhausting. Like I really need to push myself to not always be perfect and just be a little more real, especially now when everything is too perfect. Like people look too perfect. Everybody looks like Kim Kardashian, and everything is AI, and everything is just perfectly calculated. I'm like, more than ever, I like things that are weird and different and imperfect. I want to see people mess up. I want to see them stumble over their words. I want to see a zit. I want to, you know what I mean? I want to see wrinkles. I want to see reality. And so that's what Temperamental's been. It's been me turning on my camera and just doing whatever I want for about a half an hour, and then turning it off. And I'm like, that's the show. Who cares if I said something that, I had to fact check later that was wrong or whatever, if I stumbled over my words, it doesn't, if there's technical difficulty, who cares? Like it's real, and it's me, and it's the most real you'll ever see of me, right? Just telling old stories like I did tonight, and then current stories. And yeah, the cats are always there causing trouble. It's just like, it's a great little, not only it started out as kind of an exercise for me and just being myself on camera, and it's just turned into just my favorite thing that I do every week. Like now it's like, it's almost a chore to have to memorize lines and like do a scene, because I'm like, can I just wing it? Like
Yeah.
It's huge growth for me, honestly. If you know me, it's like massive growth.
That's fantastic. No, I've been trying to do the opposite, because I always wing it and somehow it works out. And now I'm like, I need a script or something. I need a little bit more, because I'm just like, I'm talking, and I like to talk, you know what I mean? And when you talk, you can go forever. But when I was watching it, I was like, my dog was not liking your cat. I'm like, dude, calm down. You're going to be okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Everybody
and nobody does.
Me. I don't like
Kevin. Okay. Next chapter. You wrote a novel.
I did.
Because apparently acting and comedy and gaming and hosting and all these things weren't enough. You also wrote an entire fantasy novel, Ash Ridley in the Phoenix. When did the idea become enough that you realized, like, oh, this I need to write this, like this could be a great book?
It's so funny, because I do get accused sometimes of like having too many interests and doing too many things. And maybe if I was just laser focused into one thing, then I could be really successful in that one thing, instead of just spreading myself to all these different things that I must do. But if you think about it, it really all does come back to the same thing. And it is just the need to create a character and make people happy and entertain. That is, it all comes down to the same thing. Like really, you take every aspect of my career, it can all be boiled down to that very thing. I mean, writing a fiction novel really is just creating characters. Like a lot of the scenes are very funny, they're very descriptive and very vivid. It's just an extension of me as an actor, just in written form. When I was a kid, I loved reading, and my favorite thing to do was to go to a bookstore, or Barnes and Noble or whatever, and go to the middle grade fiction section, the kids books. And I would pick anything that was fantasy, anything that had a unicorn on it, anything that had a dragon, had a phoenix, had a Pegasus, anything like that. That's all I wanted to read. And I would just read every single book in that genre. And very few of them had female lead characters at the time. It just seemed that the books available to me, again, before the internet, I could get it, I could only get what was in the store. And it just seemed like there were very few female characters. And as a young female, I really wanted more of that. So I always just kind of promised myself that when I love writing. I always did want to write a book. I'm like, I'm gonna promise, I'm gonna pay this forward, right? Like I'm gonna write a book in this genre, something that I would have loved to read at this age, and I'm gonna make a female character who's strong and vulnerable, but has flaws, and all the things that I wanted in a character. And I did it. I wrote it. I don't know that I'll ever do it again. But it was a really good experience, and I love doing it. It debuted right during COVID, unfortunately, and so all my book tours got canceled, and it didn't really have the launch that it should have had because
Damn.
COVID. So it didn't. It, it still reached the people it needed to. I think. I still had many fans, and I got a lot of sales, and people writing me messages about how much it meant to their daughter. Or they read it to their kid, and their little girl loved the character, and just it
That's
accomplished
beautiful.
what I wanted it to accomplish, right? It wasn't a New York Times bestseller, but it did what I did what I set out to do. Now with kids, I don't have time to write another novel ever. Maybe a sequel someday, but yeah, I was an author. I don't know that I will continue to be an author.
You are an author. It exists. It is
It
made. You
exists. I can
are.
hold
You
my book in my hands. It's upstairs.
Yes, that is a beautiful thing. What's harder, walking into an audition or staring at a blank page knowing you have to create an entire world?
I don't really get writer's block that often, so there's nothing really scary or intimidating to me about a blank page. I could sit with a blank, you know, a Word document all day and just come up with the most insane stuff. I had a really fun exercise today where um, my husband was working on a project and he needed just like a 2-page scene, like a script. And he's like, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be good. I need a portion of a screenplay of 2 pages, like 3 characters, just write something. And I was like, okay. And I just sat down, and in 20 minutes, I wrote this like really, really funny comedy scene, and I sent it off to him, and I'm like, there you go. Like, I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this should be like a movie. No, I absolutely, yeah, no, I love alone time, getting to be creative. I'm really getting into electric guitar right now. I've played acoustic for a while, but I've never really dabbled in electric guitar because I'm a singer, and I work with such talented guitar players and musicians that I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I ever need to play guitar? They do it better than I ever will. Like, I don't need to. But it has been really fun to kind of noodle around with that lately. It's kind of just another creative endeavor I'm having fun with.
When I see you,
I've had social media managers refuse to work with me for sponsorships because I'm so all over the place. They're like, we need you to be like one
really?
thing. Can you just be like a makeup influencer? Because then we know how to categorize you. And I'm like, can't help you. I'm 800 things, and that's just what I do.
When I see you on stage performing, like with your bands, you're like, it's like so much energy and like you're so happy. Like I think I was watching like one of the guitarists like sing like a Backstreet Boys song, and you're like getting people into it with your beer, and you get on the table, and you just seem like it's such a happy place for you. What is it about being on that stage singing with your bands that makes you so happy to be on there?
So funny. It's been a journey, because when I was on all that, um, I also was a singer. I mean, like I said, I've been singing since I was a kid. I've taken so many lessons. I even took opera lessons for a while. I'm just incredibly classically trained for years and years and years. And then once I kind of got famous on all that, I had people. Isn't that crazy? I had like a publicist and 2 agents and a manager and a lawyer. Um, my people were like, how do we make you a star? Like, you're a singer. We should turn you into a singer. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like singing. Let's do that. But their version of me being a singer was always just me on a stage by myself with a karaoke track. And I hated it so much. It's like they stole my joy of singing away, because I'm like, I hate this. I'm on this big stage all by
Uh,
myself. I'm like, it's I just couldn't like it. And I kind of just abandoned the idea of becoming a singer because I just didn't agree with what my people wanted me to do. In fact, like, I just I had a
Wow.
lot of opportunities. They took me to Nashville. They made me sing for record labels. And at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't like any of this. I don't want to be a country singer. Like, I don't want to do this. And it was hard to
Yeah.
walk away from a lot of that, but it just wasn't what my heart wanted. And then all these years later, I realized what I needed, and I needed a band. I needed to be on stage with other people. I needed other musicians that I could have chemistry with on stage, that I could mess with, that I could have banter with, that that they give me the confidence to be up there, and they give me the confidence to work, to go out into the audience and then make the audience my friend and get them into it. And yeah, I mean, now I think I have the confidence that if I had to be on a big stage by myself, I'd be fine just because I do it so much. But like, it's
Right.
different when you have a group from musicians, right? It's the same like when I moved to Oregon and I fell into that group of friends and they brought me into the video game world. It's like I come to
Community.
Vegas and I fall into this group of friends and now I'm pulled
Yeah.
into the music world. It's like, isn't that like the meaning of life, right? It's like creating art and human connection, right? It's like I'm doing both. What else? What more could I ask for? Like, I have this beautiful family, I have these friends, I have music, I have art. Like, I'm living the literal dream. Like, I'm doing it.
Did you ever see Toy Story 5?
I did not see Toy Story 5.
Okay.
My kids did. I haven't seen it.
That's
In
what I
theaters,
thought.
right?
I was like, oh, maybe she took her kids.
No.
Yeah, I think you'll really like that because I think a big message about that, especially, growing up as a little girl is finding your tribe, finding your community
Yeah.
and your people. And I'm trying not to spoil it for you because I want you to see this movie.
I
When it
will
comes
eventually.
out
When it's on Disney Plus, I'll watch it.
Yeah, when it comes out Disney Plus,
Yeah,
sponsor me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I feel like you'll love it because you'll be like, yes, exactly. Like, find somebody that matches my weird matches your weird. And it was such a beautiful message from that movie. It's not the entire message, but it is a part of what I got from Toy Story 5. And it was such a beautiful thing to see, especially like a young girl growing up with technology, social media, messaging, the things, the emojis, the bullying. It was very interesting, but I think you'll like that. And I've been filibustering for a second now because you are Frozen again, like with another cute Frozen picture. But I don't know how much more I can filibuster. Cece, help me out. But no, I totally agree. I think you never have to focus on one thing. I if you have that in you, it's really beautiful to be. Oh, she gone, guys. She might be coming back. Man, this has been such a fantastic conversation with Lisa, you guys. She is having technical difficulties, so I think she's gonna come back into the room, hopefully. Yeah, she is. Oh. Okay. I think it's slowly.
I told you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's no worries. It's no worries. I was filibustering.
I heard most of what you said. I could still hear
Okay.
you. It was like frozen, and I was like, God dang it! He doesn't even know I can
I
hear him.
thought you could, but I talk into the ether a lot. So sometimes nobody's listening and I'm still talking and I'm totally okay with that. It's just incredible though, to talk about all these chapters in your life and how you can see how so many of your experiences influence the next, and this creative mind that just won't stop. And it shouldn't stop because there's so much in there that keeps wanting to create these beautiful things and building this community and building this connection and these connections with people. And I think that's such a big part of why you want to do all these different things, because you love connecting with people so much. At your core, that's what you were meant to do. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. So I never want you to stop doing the next thing. Sponsor her and just let her go. Just let her go with it. Okay, we're gonna wrap up. I know you gotta go. I wanted to ask you one. I'm gonna ask you some questions, then I'm gonna ask you some rapid fire questions to end it. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. For these ones, what do you think you've actually been chasing creatively all these years? Did I just describe it with connecting with community, or
kind
you
of,
go ahead.
I even more so to dial it down, I just want to make people happy. I want to bring happiness to other people. I really think you can boil down every single thing that I do to I really just want to make people happy.
That's really, I think it's working. I think it's
Good.
definitely working. What's something you haven't done yet that scares you enough to make you want to try it
Um,
or
I
excites you
would
enough
I
to
would
do it?
consider dabbling in stand-up comedy a little bit someday. I don't think I'm
Mm,
there yet, but it absolutely terrifies me. That's like the one area of comedy or of just acting and performing in general that I've never believed that I could do it, but I'm in kind of my era of I can do anything. Because I've proved to myself that I can do anything that I want to do. So if I decide tomorrow that I want to try stand-up comedy, I think I can do it. I don't know. Maybe one day.
that's so that's so awesome. What kind of like advice would you want to give to someone that wants to get into entertainment?
I would say start in theater. Do everything you can to start in theater because that is where again you get that community because theater people are usually very like they embrace you, you become one of them. You're all in it together. It's like a football team, right? Like you're all you're all just working really hard to create this thing, not necessarily for money because there's no money in local theater. So you're forced, it's not, I mean, you're forced to create this thing with all these other people solely based on because you want to and because you have the joy in doing it, right? You're not out there trying to make money. You just want to create this thing with other creatives. So that's not only where you're going to learn that, but you're going to learn stage terms, which still cross over into TV, like still use downstage, upstage, stage left, stage right. You learn just all the fundamentals you learn in theater. That's just where you'll learn it all there. And that's, in fact, most of TV casting directors, like they want kids or people who have experienced theater before they start doing
Right.
TV. So at any age, do theater before you start trying to do movies and television. Even if it's just one or two shows, just dip your toe there.
I love that. I should have stuck with it. I did the fourth and fifth grade play, and I did
Ah,
drama for
nice.
2 years of high school. But yeah, I mean, I feel like another thing is like stay with it. If
Oh,
you
for sure.
enjoy it,
Yeah.
like don't be deterred by other outside things. Like if you love it, keep going. I think that's an
Yeah,
important one, and I
it
I
is.
feel
I
like
say, yeah, no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I was bringing it back to honestly your parents. I think
Yeah.
having that support system and having parents that are open to letting you try and fail on your own and get back up and do it again. And I think having parents that really champion you, like you were describing with yours, I think makes all the difference for this someone trying to do this. And
Yeah.
and even if
Oh,
you
for
don't
sure.
have supportive parents, if you have something in you, rebel and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yes. If it's in you, you have to do it. That's the thing is that if it's in you and you don't do it, it'll eat you alive. So like you have to.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I wish even with this podcast, I wish I started so much earlier. I don't know.
Oh,
It's all
dude, everybody does. How would anyone know? Everyone wishes
I
they
know,
started right at the beginning. It
but
doesn't matter. Life continues.
you're
Just
right.
do your
Yeah,
thing.
I know. I love it. Like when I'm on the mic, it's like I'm myself more than anything, and it's such a beautiful thing to just like hop on the mic, be
Yeah.
yourself, and put yourself out there. And you're just always like, no, not that's not me. That's not me. It's like people talk themselves out of doing something way more than
Hmm.
talking themselves into it. And so yeah, I think you got to just listen to your inner voice to just go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I've taught my daughter something, and I didn't even really think about it at the time when I was teaching it to her. But now I'm just like, that was a really smart thing I did. I didn't read that in a parenting book, but I wish everyone would do this. So whenever Chloe is asked to do something or presented with a challenge, Before she can give any excuses why she doesn't want to do it, or doesn't think she can do it, or can't do it, or whatever, I say you
Yeah.
have to start everything with, first of all, I can do anything. Second of all, then you can voice your concerns. Then you can do whatever. Because I do that. So like anytime somebody will call me and be like, "Hey, can you do a Russian accent?" I say, first of all, I can do anything. Second of all, give me a week. You know what I mean? So your excuses can come after, but you have to meet
Mm.
every challenge with, first of all, I can do anything. Again, if my agent called me right now and was like, "Can you bungee jump?" I'd say, first of all, I can do anything. Second of all, I need to be some proper training, and I will consider it, and maybe this, and there's emotions, and that's scary. But you start everything with, first of all, of course I can do it. I then get to decide whether I want to do it, or have the physical capacity to do it. But we can do anything.
I love
So
that.
I force
love
her to
that.
say that.
No, that's great. You're giving me good parenting advice. I feel like that's one of the best parts about becoming a new parent is like you either take that great stuff that your parents taught you and implement it into the child you're raising, or maybe the stuff that you wish you got that you didn't get a lot of when you were a
Yeah.
kid. You get to be that parent for your child. And so
Mhm.
I'm just like everyone I talk to and I'm just like absorbing all these things. It's just like I'm ready to go. I cannot wait. This is gonna be
You're so close.
awesome.
You're so close. Very
I
soon.
know. Okay, let's get to know you a little bit better before you get out of here. These
Okay.
are rapid fire questions. Give me a response. If you want to explain it a little bit, would love to hear it.
Okay.
Here we go. Favorite movie of all time?
Big Fish by Tim Burton. I mean, he made
Why
it.
is,
It was a book first, but it's my favorite movie of all time.
why is that?
I think the visuals and the whimsy and the imagination and the acting and the story twist and the family element. I think it's a perfect film. I really do. And that's coming from like a total nerd who leans more like, my next favorite movies are Lord of the Rings and a Highlander and like whatever, Braveheart and Marvel, and somebody who leans very nerdy. Like
Yeah,
Big Fish to me is a perfect movie.
that's awesome. Favorite comedy of all time?
Maybe My Cousin Vinny. That's up there.
Ooh,
Maybe What About Bob with Bill Murray. Um, Caddyshack would be up there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
those
One of
are
those.
all timers for sure. What is the best action movie of all time?
Wow, it's hard to do better than Taken. I mean, it's
Yeah,
pretty good. It's the first thing that came to
definitely.
my mind.
I would probably say mine is like The Rock, with
Oh,
Nick
yeah, yeah,
Cage,
yeah. Uh-huh.
uh
That's a good one.
Sean Connery, and it's a
Yeah,
Bay Area movie, so
yeah.
obviously, I got the
Losers always mind about their best. Yeah.
yeah, it was like, I'll take pleasure in gutting you, boy. Do you remember that part?
Yes. It's been a while since I
Okay. Favorite female comedian?
Carol Burnett, like by far. I mean, Madeline Kahn is up there for sure. Amanda Bynes is up there. I mean, yeah.
Those are all timers for sure too.
Kristen Wiig, of
Marvel.
course. Sorry,
What,
I'm gonna
who?
stop
Oh,
now.
Kristen Wiig. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, Kristen Wiig is fantastic. I love
yeah.
her. There's so many funny women. They need to get more love because there's just so many funny comedians. It's just like every time, it's like every time they do a roast, now it's like, oh my god, I love that comedian. I'm like, they've been killing it for
Right.
years. This is just like because you saw them roast Tom Brady, now you're like, this person's epic. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, Marvel or DC?
Marvel,
Why is that?
because I think WandaVision is the best thing I've ever seen. I'm a massive WandaVision fan. I don't know. I just like I feel that I haven't done a lot of actual comic reading, so I can't compare the
Mhm.
comics, but the way the movies have been made in each cinematic universe, I just like the whimsy and the comedy and the depth of the MCU over the DCU, personally.
All right, I'm gonna take down. I gotta show you since you said WandaVision, which my wife and I love.
So good.
Can you see that?
I can. Oh, that's awesome. Shut up. Is that a piece of art?
Yeah, I got a commission.
That's dope. Oh, actually, speaking of this, I have to say this. I think that because of WandaVision, I'm officially a part of the MCU. Because if you remember in the MCU or in WandaVision, she's watching DVDs of Malcolm in the Middle, which means Malcolm in the Middle
Mm,
exists in the MCU, which means she watched my episode of Malcolm in the Middle, so therefore I'm in the MCU.
let's go. You were the girl. You were the female version of Malcolm, right?
Yes, I was. So my two reasons that I think I'm part of Marvel is because of that and because of my Stan Lee video that I have of him saying, "Who the hell is Lisa Foyle?" So because I have that, and because I have WandaVision watching Malcolm in the Middle, which clearly she watched me, I'm in it. I mean, I'm a small part of it, but I'm in it.
No, you're in it. You're part of the MCU. Yeah, I was getting all these like little tidbits of Lisa Foyle's of like the Spider-Man shirt photo and the Stan Lee video and I'm like, oh, okay, like I think this girl likes some nerdy Marvel stuff. Like this is my
I
kind of girl.
do.
I love all the evidence I'm seeing.
Oh yeah.
Um, okay. Who is the better superhero? Not who has the better movies,
Uh,
who is the better, this or
yeah.
that. Who is the better superhero? Spider-Man or Batman, and why?
I'm gonna say Spider-Man just because he does have actual powers and it's close, but they're just motivated by very different things. But I think if you're gonna say actual superhero, I think I am gonna go Spider-Man, although I am a massive Batman fan.
Same. Yeah, that was
And
hard for
also my
me.
opinion could change tomorrow on that one. So just, I'd go back and forth.
I can't wait to clip that and put it out there and see what people think.
Oh gosh.
Favorite on-screen Spider-Man and why?
Well, the problem is I haven't seen like the last two Tom Holland Spider-Mans, but he's such a good Spider-Man. I've loved all three of them, and I thought they all brought their own thing to the table. I love their
Mhm.
depiction, each of them. Their take was like so great. I mean, I was like a definitely team Toby for a long time, but then watching just some of the other ones, I'm like, God, they're all so good. Like,
Yeah.
I can't pick.
So the
They're all so
verdict
different.
is
I mean, I'll say Toby just because I haven't seen the most recent Spider-Mans, and I'm sure and people will tell me that
okay.
it will change your mind. They're like, I know a lot of you
It
are Team
will.
Toby, but the most recent ones you're gonna pick Tom. But again, I don't want to pick one. I think they all do their own thing.
That's fair. They are all very good, but man, you need to see those last two because
No, I know, I will.
the one that's making billions right now in theaters is the best Tom Holland one. In,
Hey, wait till
in
you have kids, and then you tell me how often you go to the theaters. I'll check back with you then.
okay. Fair enough. Fair
Change
enough.
your life, man.
Yeah, that's true. I
You
gotta
don't
go
really have
though.
a spare 4 hours and $40 to just waste whenever you want.
If I'm not going to the theater, then this show is gonna be dead. I'm have nothing to talk about. They're like, "Did you see it?" I'm like, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about."
I'm sure you'll
I
make
have.
it work.
Thank you. Okay, I know this answer already because I saw your very beautiful video. Star Wars or Star Trek?
So funny. I was so hardcore team Star Wars for
I know. I
most of my
saw.
life, and I still am. It just means a
You made
lot to
me
me. But
cry, dude.
oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the answer will always be Star Wars just because of that connection I had with my dad. But it's funny because that group of friends in Portland, in Oregon, when I moved back there, that was always we were a very competitive group, and so we would have
Yeah.
opinions and we would stand by them. And even if you were proved wrong, you would still stand by your opinion. If you were Marvel, you were Marvel hardcore. And DC. That was just what we did as like very competitive nerds. It's like we would stand up for everything. And I had
Yeah.
this group of friends that was like, look, we know that you insult Star Trek all the time, but how much Star Trek have you actually seen? And I'm like, barely any. And they're like, we're going to change your life. And they sat me down and they made me watch like 5 of the old Star Trek movies. And I was like, dang it, I love this so much. I was like, this is
Wow.
incredible. And then we got to Wrath of Khan and I'm like crying because of how emotional it was. I'm like, Spock, oh my God. And then we got into TNG and watched all the Next Generation and Picard. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's
Did
just
you watch the show?
totally,
The Next Generation show?
yeah,
Or
no,
just
we
the
watched a
movies?
bunch of episodes and we watched the movie, a lot of the movies. They just gave me a very thorough like education of
That's
like the
great. Good
best
friends.
stuff. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And the same friends that got me really into Firefly, right? Like good, like Doctor Who, like they're the friends that are like, you need to do
These
this.
are smart
Um,
people. I love.
yes, great,
You saw
great, great, great
Serenity too?
people.
The
Yes,
film,
yeah, I
the
watched
Firefly
Serenity
film.
first,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so then it really it made me eat my words a little bit, right? I kind of felt bad of all the years I had trash talked Star Trek because I didn't know, I was ignorant, but I very much like both.
Okay, I love that. I love that they didn't judge; they educated. That is a very beautiful way
Oh
of
no, there's
going
lots of
about it.
judging. Oh no, there's judging. There's so much judging. There's mostly
Okay.
judging, and then there's also
Okay.
educating.
I
The
love that
education is born from the
they
judgment.
I love
There's
that
judgment,
they judge you
insults.
completely
Yes,
and then they educate you.
yes. Insult you, call you names, judge you a lot, then educate you, then make fun of you and say I told you so, and then more insulting, and then that's just having friends, right?
Favorite Star Wars character and why?
It's hard not to say Obi-Wan. But
Ooh.
I do love Qui-Gon Jinn. I gotta say, I loved Liam Neeson in that. I know people don't like Phantom Menace. I liked Phantom Menace, whatever. But I I think Luke Skywalker is probably going to be my favorite. I think just he's the OG. He's just his journey from being whiny kid on Tatooine to like all the way up to now with the Mandalorian stuff. I mean, just you know,
Yeah.
I love Mark Hamill. I think he's phenomenal. Just everything he's done as a person, and then he's like, even now, like of all the Star Wars, all the new Star Wars stuff that my son is in, he's 7, which is just the perfect age. Just love all things Star Wars, and we've taken him to Disneyland with all the characters he's met, and Kylo Ren and Rey and all the things. This year for
awesome.
Halloween, he's like, I think I want to be Luke Skywalker. And I'm like, yes, you do. Like he started it all. Like, yes. I was like, oh my God, he's so sweet. Actually, but none of what I just said, none of it matters because actually my favorite character is R2D2. So it's hands down.
Finally, I was waiting for you to say. Yeah, R2 is the best. I thought you were gonna do a R2 like a what? Like a I don't know. I just thought you were gonna do a yeah. Okay. Very nice. Favorite video game of all time and why?
BioShock. Yeah, probably BioShock.
BioShock.
Like I said, that was the first game that just blew my mind, and I couldn't even understand what I was looking at. It was beautiful and terrifying, and the story was incredible, and one of the best twists in any story, regardless of medium, whether it's movie, TV show, anything. Like the twist in that game and getting to just experience it for the first time, and it wasn't spoiled for me. Like it's hard not to say BioShock.
That's great. Yeah, I just think the storytelling was just setting the stage for the other games that come and really set the bar extremely high. And when I would play BioShock, it would really scare the crap out of me where I felt like I was in the story and I'm like, like it was like, oh my God, I'm like actually in it.
Yeah.
which I
And even the
didn't really feel
architecture,
before
just like,
then.
yeah, all the art deco, like the
You,
architecture of that whole
yeah, you
world.
could like
Just,
feel it. It was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Incredible. Yeah.
But I was also a big Halo. I was a big Halo guy
Yeah,
when
I played a
Halo
decent
came
amount of Halo.
out,
Yeah.
especially like Halo 2 and 3, when online was starting to become really popular, you know, Shoddy Snipes or whatever. The Pit. Yeah, that was, we definitely played it a lot. My wrists hurt now from I'm getting old. Okay. Favorite band or artist all time?
Gosh, that's so hard. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
there's so
Should I do this? What
many.
about
Because then, like, if you're
top
gonna go of all time, you have to
type
go with like a
3?
Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not pick like a Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin if you're gonna say like top three
I
bands?
love
And then how do you
Queen.
not go with like a beat? How do you not go with like a Queen? You can't just, oh my
I'm
god.
big Queen, like
Like
Galileo.
personal, like, yes, personal. I think like personal bands and artists that like mean something to me would be like a Elliott Smith, would be like the
Mm,
Shins, would be like Ben Folds, would be like Foo Fighters, you know, gosh,
yeah.
that's a tough
I
question.
got
That's
another
not a rapid fire
confession to
question.
make.
That's like
Yeah,
a
I know that's
think
a
about
hard
it for
one. I mean,
24 hours type of question.
yeah. How much time you got left? Yeah, I love. I mean, Modest Mouse is like one of my favorite bands. I absolutely love Modest Mouse. Isaac Brock, the singer and guitarist, is just, yeah. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, Float On." I'm like, no, there's so many songs. Like, they're like,
Yeah.
do you ever listen to Modest Mouse at all?
I have not listened to a lot of Modest Mouse now.
Okay, I'll send you some songs to check out that
Yeah,
I think you'll
yeah,
really
do it, do
like.
it, do it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this one song, it's called like Teeth Like God's Shoe Shine. It's so good. It's so good. This guy can like scream and sing pretty all in the same time. There's a
Oh, that's
great
pretty.
YouTube doc, like 50 minutes about their first album. It's awesome. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
I'll get
yeah,
you up on
yeah,
that one. Okay. Song you never get tired of performing.
yeah. Probably, I mean, you just said Queen, and we do Don't Stop Me Now. I love doing that. We finish our shows with that one. I love doing Carry On My Wayward Son, or Carry On Wayward Son is the name of the song. I love doing that one. If I getting an audience to start dancing, it's always play that funky music. Fun song. Like, it's not vocally challenging, but that will get everybody out of their seats
Oh
and
yeah,
dancing. I love singing that one. That one's just a silly fun one, but
that's a good one. The
yeah, no,
guitar
I
in
love
that.
it's, yeah, it's super good. No, I'll never get there's so many songs I'll never get tired of singing, but definitely Don't Stop Me Now is there's been a couple times where I've sung that song. We usually do We Are the Champions right into Don't Stop Me Now. And it's always we end our big shows like that. And there was a handful of times where I was singing it on Fremont Street with just like thousands of people in front of me on this big stage with this giant catwalk where I just get to run around. And I had these moments where I was like, I'm Freddie Mercury right now. Like, I get to feel
Oh,
just a little bit what he felt, is just a fraction of it, but like, how cool. So awesome.
that's amazing. I
Yeah.
love Freddie Mercury. I miss him so much. Didn't even know him,
Yeah.
but man, that voice is just unheard of again. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, all respect to Adam, you know, the dude that they got to tour
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
them.
Hmm.
Uh, but man, Freddie's voice is just like,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Hmm.
Go to karaoke song. Do you still get to do karaoke?
Yes, in fact, I used to host karaoke once a month at the Punk Rock Museum, which is punk rock karaoke.
Oh, I love
But I
that. Okay.
really like doing Come On Eileen by Save Ferris. It's challenging, it's fun, it's like everybody knows it. It's like such a good ska hit. That was a really fun
Yeah.
karaoke. That
It's
one
like,
and You Make My Dreams Come True by Hall and Oates. Yeah.
ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a
Wow.
fun karaoke one. Yeah.
I bet you just crush at karaoke. Okay, we're gonna wrap up.
Of course I do.
Comfort TV show.
Arrested Development and
Ooh.
Gilmore Girls. That's the like a
Oh,
that's a comfort, like, you
I
know,
wasn't expecting that. I thought you seemed
cozy.
like
Are you kidding me? Lauren Graham on Gilmore Girls deserved every Emmy in the world. She was incredible. People do
yeah,
not give her the credit she deserves for being Lorelai Gilmore on that show. She was amazing.
yeah, 100%. No, 100%. I'm more a Friends guy, I would say.
Yeah,
Friends
I'll put
was
on The Office and Friends over and over. Usually The Office or like
yeah.
Parks and Rec. I'll just like have it in the
My
background,
wife
you know.
refuses to watch The Office. I'm like, I got her to watch all of Parks and Rec, and it wasn't until like Adam Scott and what's his name came on like at
Rob
the end of
Lowe.
season. And then I was like, just wait, like there's this point in the show where it just takes it, everything clicks and it takes off.
Yeah.
And she waited and she really enjoyed it, but it's like we
Nice.
don't really go back to it. Like Friends is on all the time, or Ted Lasso is our show for sure.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I have not seen the latest season. I watched the first 2 seasons. There's like 4 now or
Okay.
something like that. I only saw the first 2, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The fourth just came back, but yeah, it's fantastic. Okay. Celebrity crush growing up.
Lance Bass didn't work out for me. Not at all.
Yeah. Didn't work out for a lot of people.
No, you're exactly right.
One fictional character you'd love to play.
Arwen in Lord of the Rings. It's never gonna happen. I'm not elf-like at
Ooh.
all. Like I'm too goofy
No,
to be
I
an elf,
could
but
see-
like I
I
mean,
could see
geez,
it.
in another universe, in another world, like
Hey, you said yes, I can first.
first of all, I can do anything.
Yes,
I will
first
be
of
her
all-
in a comedy version of in a comedy sketch of Lord of the Rings. That's where I will be.
This is my wife liking our conversation. You taught me that. Okay.
Yes.
Let's finish with this. You wake up tomorrow with absolutely nothing on your schedule.
Yes.
Nobody needs anything from you. What's Lisa Foyles doing with her perfect day?
I'm playing guitar and writing music. Unbothered. Ha. Amazing.
One can dream.
I'm creating. I have never had a problem with alone time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, Lisa, this has been absolutely incredible. And I thank you so much for being on here and giving us extra time. You have so many amazing chapters of your life. I was an idiot for thinking an hour would suffice. So I really appreciate your time. And I knew tonight would be a fun walk down memory lane because all that means so much to an entire generation. But what I think I've enjoyed even more is seeing just how much life and creativity there is beyond that chapter. Like millions of people first met you when you were like 14, 15, but you never allowed that to become the last interesting thing about you.
Aww,
You've kept making people laugh. You've acted, you're still acting. You've built completely different communities and audiences. You've written novels. You've created temperamental. I'm going to lose my voice from talking about all the amazing things you've done. Like you're still creating comedy. It's just so amazing to see this journey that you're still on and this creative mind that never wants to quit. And it's so inspiring and so beautiful to see. And I appreciate you so much for sharing this journey with the audience.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on your show. You've been so much fun to talk to. Thank you for letting me ramble about all my old stories and reminisce and, turn back time. It's really fun. If I could turn back time. No, this has been great and I really appreciate you.
Every time I hear that, I always think, did you ever see Will and Grace?
No, I never watched Will and Grace.
Cher was on an episode and he doesn't believe that it's Cher. He believes it's someone like, because a lot of people dress like Cher.
Yeah.
And so she turns around, she's like, if I could turn back time. And like he's like, no, it's town. You go down and like corrects corrects her, and in my
Corrects
mind, I was
her.
like, I loved Cher as a kid, so that totally
That's
reminded me of it.
amazing.
Lisa, where can the good people find you, and what do you got going on?
Yes, you can find me pretty much anywhere at Lisa Foyles. I'm on Instagram most of the time, and my punk band performs once a month at the Punk Rock Museum here in Las Vegas, which if you have any interest in punk rock at all, even back to like the old 60s, 70s punk rock, there's so many
Yeah.
artifacts at this museum. You really need to come check it out. Do a Vegas trip and then make that a stop and hopefully come see me play. But yeah, just stay in touch with me on Instagram. That's where I post all my show flyers and all my sketches and all my silly stuff. So yeah, I would love to meet you if you want to follow me on there and say hi.
Awesome. And thank you everyone again for tuning in, for being in the chat, contributing to the conversation. It's a pleasure to have you guys. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, be here for the journey. We do a show every Sunday at 6 p.m. normally Pacific Standard Time, where we talk about just the current news when it comes to movies and TVs and the things that we love to geek out about. The best part about this stuff, it all hits us differently. We all have this passion and these different opinions about the stuff that we love, but as long as we can keep it respectful, that's when you have the best conversation. So follow me at the Evan Edition on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and be here for the conversation. We have more great, amazing, not as amazing, but great people like Lisa to interview. And so once again, Lisa, stay on after so I can thank you again. But it was so great to have you on here, and thank you so much again. Hopefully we can have you come back and just talk and nerd out with us. I think that'd be really fun.
Of course.
So
I've had a great time.
we'll keep that under an hour though. So I might have a kid by then. But thank you again so much. Such a pleasure having you.
Yes, it was awesome. Thank you.
You guys, go see a movie. Go watch all that reruns. I think they're on Paramount. Go see a TV show. Go fall in love. Go create. I think that's the one thing that you should take away from this entire conversation. If you feel something in here, go do it out there and do something that you love. So that is the show. Thank you so much, my friends, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye, my friends.
It's the Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. It's the Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. The Evan Edition. It's the Evan Edition.